Cool. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about agents, how you're
Okay.
getting on in the moment with the current pandemic, whether there's any activity at the moment, whether you've had to slow things down or whether things have actually even slowed down at all. So we just got a few questions to go over that.
No problem.
Agents tend to get a bad rep. There's good ones, there's bad ones. Do you feel that if they brought back regulating agents, it would make a big difference and sort of stop some of the fake agents coming through?
Yeah, to me, I think that will be, that will really help. Because if you look at the past, how the agents were treating the players, it was very bad. Because then an agent will go and get a player, then, and let me put it this way, because before most of the players were illiteracy. What they were doing, just playing football, they were not even going to school, so they don't know nothing to do with paperwork. So when someone comes to you like, look, you're a good player, I will take you to abroad or something like that, we just jump on board. Then they will put a paper before them. They don't know what that represents. Then they will tell you, just sign here, just do this and that. But in the near future, then they will know that, oh, what they did was a very bad thing. But yet the agents already knew what they were doing. So in some cases, some agents will have a contract with the player, whereby in the contract is stating that the agent will be receiving maybe some of them about 70%. 70%, yes. Yeah, I know. I think I know about 1, 2, 3 players that went through, but I think that a lot of players went through that kind of situation. So even to me, as now, how the FIFA has regulated with the agent. Now, they've canceled it. Now they make mediator, whereby the mediator will receive in about 2%. I think, and now it's also open that anybody can be a mediator, not just a specific people that you go for, let's say, an agent course to get the license, what they used to do before. And now they've made it broad, because I think a lot of people complain and a lot of players complain, but then it was too late because they've already made the contract.
I see.
Yeah, some of them, the agents were signing them. The agent will be having 60%, 50%, 70%, like I said. Then you player, that one who's working so hard, will be receiving just a little. Why? Why they do that? Because they will tell that they've invested in you. They came for you. They make the connections for you. They bought your ticket. It's like they provided for you to be where you are now. So the agreement, which is very evil.
Yes. So the player feels indebted to him a bit.
Yeah. So you can see that those, let's say, those old agents, they made fortune. Both the Africans and the Europeans.
Yeah.
They made fortune, because then the players, it's like slavery. The players were working for them.
Yeah, it's a bit like why they don't do third-party ownership in England, because it is they constitute it as slavery. It's a bit, they do it in South America, but they don't do it over here. It's frowned upon.
Yeah, because you can't do that.
Yeah, because essentially you're saying you own the player, but that you can't own the player.
That's it. So I think that was the main reason why that FIFA brought that new thing of a mediator, that anybody can be present. Whether your mom, your pops, any relative, friend, anybody can be a representative, like a mediator, to come and stand in between. So that person will be negotiating between both of you and the club, and that person is entitled 2%.
So they've capped it.
Yes. So they cut everything down. So to me, in some way, it's good. That they've made it like that, because then it will make the players ease. They will come at ease, and everybody will have their own way. So to me, I think that one is good.
Okay. So there seems to be quite a problem in African countries with regards to agents sort of taking advantage of players and sometimes taking them to countries and then not fulfilling what they said they would do. How do you think they combat that over there? And because that's one thing where if you're going to start to try and make the leagues better over there, bring through talent over there, you've got to watch out for these people that are sort of trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, but to me, you know, Africa, or let's put it with like the third world countries, like Africa, South America, and somewhere Asia, because of how let's say how they've putting things down or how things are running over there.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare that side to Europe, it's far better because here, let's put it this way, that the law, it's like people follow the law,
mm-hmm.
or the law are very strictly to be followed. Nobody can go above the law. But when you go to the third world countries, look, anybody do what they want. Everybody does whatever they want. So with comparing that side to this side, I think it's going to take much effort. To me, I think they have to do a lot of changes in the system. Changes involved with the law and how, I don't even know how to put it, because comparing that side and the difficult that some players have, and with the agent, to me, I think everything have to start from
the bottom.
Maybe let's say in Ghana now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the president is doing now is now they are trying to put everything digital, because how the world is moving now the world is moving into digital world.
Mm-hmm.
So even with the passport now, as a child that is born today, they are doing everything, all the process like in England here.
Yeah.
So now, if you are born today, your date of birth will go into the system and you can never change it again.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a start.
That is the start. So let's talk about maybe in the near future, maybe in 10 years time.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's say from now to in 10 years time, things are going to change.
Yeah.
Things are going to move more like the European.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they used to do before, a person can change the date of birth today, it can change it again tomorrow and in the future.
Yeah.
So that is the problem. And let's say here we have let me put in there that there's a lot of opportunities, and the way the system is built, it help the people that lives in it, but not like in the third world. Because the third world, things are messed up. Everybody does whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like the rich are in power.
Yeah.
The rich can do everything that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the top agents, look, whatever they want now, they can just go to the ministries. Look, I need a passport for this player.
I see.
They will just get it like that. And maybe they will use the player to travel. And if the player does not go through, they can come back again and change the passport again. You know what I mean? They will change the passport. Yes. That's what's happening in the third world.
Yeah, it's deep rooted.
If you talk about Africa, South America,
yeah,
even the Asia part, that's what's happening. Like I said, the system is not like us in Europe here.
Yeah.
Whereby if you are born today, your date of birth goes straight into the system. No one can change it.
Yeah.
It stick with you till you die. But not like in the third world. So
it seems like a very small thing, but you can't start trying to implement stadium builds and this and that and youth academies if you haven't got the right date of birth. So you have to start from scratch. It seems silly, but you have to start from scratch, and that eliminates any sort of doubt with these players that are coming over that are the right age. So it's a good start. It's the right start.
Yeah. In Ghana, that's a really, really good start, because what the president is doing now even their identity card, they are going to the biometric cards, like in Europe here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everything is now going digital. So let's say in 5 years to come or in 10 years to come, things are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even I think Ghana now, because yes, now at this present moment, when you go for a passport, now they take your fingerprints,
Okay.
your thumbprint. That's the digital.
Yeah.
So now, if you are using the current ones, you can never change anything again.
Yeah.
So as the moment you go for a passport, all your document, everything sticks into the system. So even if you lose it, when you go there, they cannot change it again.
Yeah.
They will just get you new one, like here. But apart from that, nothing is going to change. You cannot change your name because now they've taken your fingerprints. You know, so wherever you appear, it's going to appear. Look, this person is this person. That this is when there was the date that passport was issued to this and that person. Nothing can change again.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So there was a lot of talk about the current situation and that there's going to be no talking between clubs, no talking between agents, nothing's going to be happening. Just ignore any transfer talk. Are agents still talking to clubs? Are they still trying to push their players out? Are there moves being made or spoken about?
I don't really think so, because now it's like anyone that anyone that we talk to, all my friends that are into it, when you talk this, like this thing has come and really hit everybody, because people had plans for the year.
Yeah.
People had plans for the summer, for transfers, and now everything has just collapsed. Everything has just, so now what they are doing, they are praying that things will get back to normal so that they can start doing their movement. But now, as we're speaking, everybody is down. Nothing is going on. Nothing is going on.
So how much of an impact do you think it will have for next season then? Do you think it will have a big impact, like transfer fees reducing, or do you think we're going to see more loans or swap deals or anything like
that? Currently, this thing has really, really hit the clubs. Some are even, by the time we go back, a lot of clubs are going to be in a financial crisis. Trust me. A lot of clubs. So it's like now even the players, they are cutting down their wages. So to me, I think when everything resumes, because now we don't even know how the next season is going to be. Even if they are going to carry on, or they are going to cancel it again, because the virus is still in the system. And now they are playing a club in an empty football stadium. Look, it's going to bring a lot of cost. So to me, I don't think even the clubs will be looking forward to get more players outside. And even if they do, the money that they are meant to be paying them, everything will be cut.
Yeah. But
then, players in Africa, everybody's hungry, to get into a club, or a player that's looking for a club now. Even if you said, I'm going to cut off your wages or something like that, as long as I'm getting a club to play in, and I know that things are going to change in the future. So as long as I'm getting into a club, the wages doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let me get in the club first.
Yeah. True.
Let me get in the club first, and in the future we'll see.
Yeah. Quick question on this. So, if you was to have a client at one of the clubs, and let's say for the majority of the season they weren't playing, but the current club that they're at and their contract's about to end, but the current club is asking for you to prolong that contract until the actual current season ends. Do you feel that you would be obliged to, as an agent and as the player, or would you see that my contract ended on this date, I'm gonna finish it here and start thinking towards the next move?
This one, I think it depends on the individual. It depends on the individual, and depend the kind of situation you are in there at this present moment. To me, if the club is good and they treat you good, why not? why not? Because some players are in some clubs whereby even their prayers is that their contract should come to an end and let them just leave.
Mm-hmm.
And others also hoping to get extended contracts. So to me, I think it depends the individual person and the kind of relationship that you have with the club
Yeah.
or how they treated you. That will determine how you're gonna decide your future over there. So to me, like I said, it depends the individual player or individual agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in circumstances.
Yeah, let me put it that way. Yeah.
So where do you pick up your players from then?
To me, myself, let's say, was born in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up a little bit. So when I came to Europe, I was 13 years. I was in Belgium with my parents. My parents were living in Belgium then. Then I was a football player myself, and
Any good?
yeah, but I did not have luck because my dream was to become one of the superstars.
Mm-hmm.
That was my dream, but like quite unfortunately, I didn't have anybody that was willing to support me.
Yeah.
So in Belgium, even I quite remember when I started playing in Belgium in that academic year. Some of my team players, when we finished playing, and they would just take my autograph. That then they would say to me that we know that definitely we're going to see you on the television in the near future. Then we are going to show to people that we used to play with this guy, because to me myself I was so good. But like I said, quite unfortunate, I couldn't make it. Even I moved to Belgium, and it's the football that brought me here, even in England here. So when I noticed that time has passed, I couldn't have my chance. So that I have this passion, to because of the way I went through clubs, the disappointments and how they do things. I have this passion of helping the young ones coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So that became my passion to support those who are coming, especially those who are back in Ghana. Because when my mom takes out there on holidays, I go to where I used to live before, play with the childhood friends and all that stuff. Then you see so talented players. Then you ask them, where do you play? They say, we don't have any club. I was like, man, because I've been in clubs, Belgium, Germany, even Ghana. I was some way I went to play with one of the top flights in Ghana, Kotoko, in the Ashanti side.
Yeah.
And when I finished training with them, I come back home and I play with my childhood friends. Then I see the talent that they have. Then I ask them, where do you play? They will say, we don't have any clubs to play because we don't have anybody to support us. Then I will tell them, look, I'm training with Kotoko, which is the top flights in Ghana. It's like Manchester, Liverpool, this kind of club.
Yeah.
So in Ghana, there are two major clubs. That's Accra House of Hope and Asante Kotoko in Ghana. And I had the privilege of training with the Asante Kotoko. That's a bigger club, not just in Ghana, in Africa. Then I'll tell the boys, I was like, I'm training with the players that are playing there currently. And the way you guys are playing, some of you are far, far better than those who I'm playing with over there.
Yeah.
So that was way back 2009. That became a passion that, look, okay, the little that I'm earning here, though I work here, the little that I'm earning here, I will use it to support those guys. And do whatever I want, do whatever I can to maybe bring them over. But then, even I registered a company, an agent company. Then I was doing good. So I had one academy or one second division team that I was working with. But it's like the loyalty wasn't there. I was putting my passion, my effort, finance into it. Just to bring. So merely the players I helped were them players from Ghana. Like I said, I had that passion to support because I knew that they had a raw talent.
You was in that position.
Yeah. So, but like the people that I had over there that I wanted to work with, they weren't trustworthy.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't that royalty. So they made me put more money in it, whereby everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. And because of that, I was so discouraged. Then I said to myself, I'm even stepping aside for a while. For some time, I just went out. But when was it? I think somewhere early this year, I had one friend also from Belgium that I used to play with before in the same club. Then this guy, I have a friend who is playing right now in the top flight in Belgium. So this guy has went into an agent, like into the agent thing, you know, managing players. So he comes and said, look, this is what I'm doing. So when I spoke to it, it revives me again to get back on board. So now I told him, okay, now I will see to it. If they open, I'm going to work back. I'm going to work with him. Now, currently, I have also got another guy, also from Ghana, an agent that, you know, we just discussed things to cooperate together, you know, to move together.
Yeah.
And this person I'm talking about now owns a third division club in Portugal.
Okay. Okay.
So even we were talking about this kind of thing that you know, the question that you are asking me, then how could we do things better than before? So we had a long discussion. So now I'm going to partner up with this guy and we're going to start everything afresh.
But that's good, because what it does is that builds connections, and then what you can do is with your connections that you gradually will start to build up over the years, is then with you being trustworthy, you can then go to back to these clubs in Ghana, go to these connections in places you've gone to before, and then give these players a pathway to a professional life at the end of the day, and you'll be getting what you wanted out of it, and that will slowly start to build up this foundations to make football in Ghana, and not just Ghana, in other African countries, much better.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, the way things are moving, especially in Ghana, because that's where I'm from, but I don't know about the other countries, Africa countries. But I think they too are doing the same. Because now most of them are also following what directive that Ghana president is putting in places, you know, in terms of the national IDs, the passport and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, I think a lot of them are following. So to me, in the near future, maybe in 10 years time, like I was saying, things are going to change. Things are going to change dramatically. And like I said, now everything's moving to digital. So they too are following up. And I've seen that in Ghana too, there are a lot of, anyway, not many, but I've seen some academy that have moved over there, that they are also bringing up the youth, you know, the young ones, you know, training them, bringing them into the, and some of them are even push players into the big clubs. So I think they are doing well.
So are they putting in some academies into these bigger clubs over there now then?
Yeah. So I think these academies, I think they have a Starbuck from Switzerland or Sweden.
Oh, they've done like affiliates with European countries. Oh, I see.
European big clubs. Some I think Red Bulls or Switzerland or US.
Yeah, Red Bull Salzburg.
Yeah, Roseburg. Yeah, they have an academy in Ghana, and they have this academy called Right to Dream. That one is linked with many top flights in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So now they support them, and I think not just like that. I think some of and even now, some of the retired, let's say Ghanaian players who have been in Europe, who have played in Europe for a long time now, they are retired. They too have established academies, and they are bringing whatever they've learned here into Ghana, into their clubs, and they are bringing them up as the youth over here. So to me, I think things are changing dramatically.
So do you feel that Do you feel that some agents may have been put off previously of going to countries like Ghana, maybe Nigeria, and taking some of these players from these clubs at a younger age? Why
To
have we
me,
not?
I think still this thing is going on. I think it's still going on, and it depends where. But you know, I think BBC made a documentary about players trafficking.
Okay.
I think BBC or France Television. And if you watch this kind of documentary, some of them you cry because how let's say the agents deceive the players. You know, when they come down, look, we have this contract, and if you go there, you'll be earning. And I'm talking about the players that they've taken from Africa and brought them to wherever they are now. Some of them were very, very talented players. Some of them were even playing the top flight in their countries. But now, because let me put it the way, because of the system, there's not much money in the leagues. Or let's put that they don't have a strong sponsors to sponsor the league. So the league too doesn't have much money. I think, let me put it, that's where the problem starts. The leagues doesn't have much money, and the clubs itself doesn't have much. So the club depends on the players that they will sell outside. But whereby the club also give you opportunity to play for them, they would sign. Their signing will be like they will sign it for about 5 years, and the 5 years will be any rubbish. Their 5 years, their mindset is to get you to some certain level, then they will sell you outside.
Yeah.
Then the club will receive money. That's the mindset of most of the clubs over there.
Are they reinvesting it though?
They don't really invest in the players.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're gonna bring up these players through the youth system, sell them at a top price to European clubs, you've then got to reinvest that money back into the youth system so that it makes the next batch of players even better than the ones you sell, and then eventually you'll reap the rewards from this. It's about longevity and not just taking the money now that you get.
You know, Africa, they are more. Let me put them. Most of them that owns club, or most of them that are into it, they are more greedy. They don't think about, like, okay, let's say you are my player, yeah. Because you are my player, I will spend more on you because I know that I'm gonna get a good return. So in the individual clubs, let's say the president have his own players playing in the club. So apart from their contract-based salary and the bonuses that they get, they still manage to get extra funds from the president because the president owns them, or the president is managing them. It's through the president that came in them. So the president have maybe a certain contract with them that, look, I'm going to do whatever I can to push you guys up. So when you get that up, then I have this percentage because I've been supporting you. So the president will be providing for them, buying their boots, their kits, giving them pocket money. And, it's different from here. Even here.
Okay.
Yes, these are that's reality. Yeah. These are things that are going over there. Yeah. So the players that make it, sometimes I don't also understand the players that make it over here, the way they spend money.
Yeah.
And because when you talk to them, they too will tell you that they've passed through a lot. They've passed through a lot for them to get where they are. So they too be spending big, showing off and all that stuff. But to me, I think anyone that passes through this stage and gets to the top level and start making money, to me, I think these are the people that have to go back.
Yeah.
With whatever they are earning to support those who are over there. And to make it a better way for those who are coming up.
100%.
But they don't realize, because they will say the way they struggle, they struggle on their own, they did their own best and they've got to. So, but now, I think some of them are doing that.
Yeah, SCN, Didier Drogba is one. Yeah. Sadio Mane is another one. these
some
are
of
three that I definitely know that are
them.
looking to reinvest back into Africa.
So I think as some, like you've mentioned a couple of names, as these people have, set their mind up, we want to bring the new generation, in a good way, so that, and we're gonna pave a way for them to come up. So because I've heard a lot of things that what these people are, planning to, even Eto is also involved.
That's good.
They're planning to build a strong structure whereby they can help the African players to play. Even they are trying to make some way that Africa players can play in their Africa continent.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I was speaking to a journalist from Ghana, and this is what I spoke about. I said it makes sense for me for African countries to concentrate on their youth system, to build from the bottom, make their pitches aesthetically pleasing, make their pitches good, make their facilities the best for these young players. Concentrate on them. They will obviously build up, start getting into the tournaments, under 17s World Cups, the African nations youth teams. Bang, do that, and then you'll produce the next batch of rising stars. That will then be a sort of a conveyor belt of players if you do that. But if you just keep on going, European country, money, pocket, little bit over here, it's never going to work. And it will be a repetitive cycle, because the next person is going to learn from that bad habits to that bad habits. But where you're saying there, where players are now coming in and reinvesting in the country and starting to build academies and off their own back, the next batch of players will then see that and go, do you know what? That's the right thing to do for the country. Because it's about Africa cannot go on longer being a team where we've got some of the best players of all time, some of the best players in Europe, some of the best players in the world, yet your domestic leagues are awful. And in the national teams, it's sporadic. It needs Africa should be up there, like Nigeria, Ghana. They should be up there with Belgium, Holland. They've been around playing football, and they've had world Ballon d'Or winners. They've had European Player of the Years in there, and it shouldn't be that we're looking at countries in Africa and their leagues and thinking they're about 20 years away from being on Sky or something like that.
Because like I told you earlier, because there are more greediness in Africa. Let me say the African countries, especially the ministers that are responsible, for holding this kind of things. But whereby these people, when they get on power, the money that they spend on themselves and their families. So instead for the government, or maybe the president will be willing to push all these kind of things, but the ministers that are working for him are not supporting. So let's say a government can, because okay, this year I'm going to put a budget of maybe $10 million for infrastructure of field like purchase, and like you are saying, we're going to invest in putting more maybe AstroTurfs around the corners, and this will be a plan. I'm putting down $10 million. The minister who is in charge of this kind of thing, or the people that are in charge or are meant to do all this thing, these people will be putting the money in their own pocket. So the government might bring 10 million on board. Then the minister that are in charge, they will bring 4 million on board. They will say, we've done this, they will use just 4 million. So where is that 6 million? That goes into their pocket. They will share. So that also is a problem for Africans, because we don't have a truthful leaders or people that are willing to sacrifice. All they think is the money and themselves. So with this kind of thing, if one does not set himself apart and say, look, I'm going to sacrifice, like those who have already made it, like Essien, Drogba, Eto, like I'm going to use my resource, my money to do this kind of, and you depend on the government, forget it. But it's like when you start and they see that, oh, it's going on well, that's when the government can jump in Because now the government has said, okay, this person is doing it with his own money. Then let me go and support the person. So that's how the government can jump in. Then the government, okay, I've got this trustworthy person who is using his own money to do it. So if I can support this person, I think things will go right.
Yeah.
So to me, I think what they've started doing, that's a right path. Then people will jump on board later on. But if we leave on to the government to do all these things, we don't have people that are really, look, whatever is going on in England here or the European countries, how they are now is where in the olden days, their grandfather, great-grandfathers made a sacrifice for the future that we are in now.
Exactly.
So they are the youth now, or the people that are benefiting right now, are from the sacrifice that were made long time ago. They made a project. They picture, okay, from now to 20 years time, 30 years time, how do we want to see ourselves? Okay, now let's start from now. Let's put everything together. Let's work hard for the betterment for the future ones who are coming up. And that's what we are facing now. That's how people are getting so high paid. And it didn't start from just the football. It started from the government, how they put things in places.
Yeah.
Like putting date of birth into the system, legalizing things, do this, do that. Then when they had a structure, well-built structure, then the football came in, because now you cannot just go contrary, do anything that you want. You have to go everything directly, legally, and everything have to be paperwork and all that stuff. So to me, I think gradually Africa is building up, because now people have come here, learn.
Yeah.
Most of the players that have played here, they've learned, they've passed through a lot. So now they are bringing that knowledge into the system.
They've been educated.
So like I said,
educated on football. Yeah.
That's it. Before, like I'm saying, there were a lot of literacies. What they think is their mind, their motive is just playing, because they are talented. But they don't have anything here. So anybody that comes around, look, I will take you to France, I will take you to Belgium, I will take you to, yes, as long as you heard that you are going to Europe, because you'll be watching television. I'll take you to the Premier League, because you'll be watching television, and every African player's dream is to come to the lineup, Europe, and play. So the moment you hear that, nothing will stop you. But then the contract that you are signing, because they don't have any knowledge in it, they will sign a contract that will go against them. So even them playing, them being known, scoring goals and all that stuff, the money that they will be receiving, it goes to their agent, and they will be receiving just a penny. But now, all these things can never happen again.
Yeah, that's good.
Because of the system.
Yeah, maybe I can speak to a couple of my journalist friends and get them to quiz the managers in the government on how they're going to implement and make sure that there's a youth system coming through in Ghana, rather than asking how Sulian Muntari, Kevin Prince Boateng are going to get him back into the national team, because that's not that important right now. What's important is the future of the country, rather than the current crop.
Exactly, because now in Ghana, like I always say, like, the reason why the Chinese people have moved into Ghana, Chinese people doesn't come to your country just like that. They have to see something that they are very interested in it, whereby they can profit a lot from it. Then they move into your country. Now, the Chinese people are in Ghana. Why? Because of the gold.
Yeah.
And Ghana is full of gold.
Don't sell it.
And so far, the Chinese people have taken a lot of gold. When we talk about gold, we have that quality gold that is from Ghana. So it's just the same as when we talk about football talented players. Ghana has a lot. Because to me, how I started playing football, anyway, I had a passion right from birth. And the way we play, you willingly knowing that maybe you are learning this technique, but here in Europe, they will put the cones, they will direct you, do this, do that. Then you'll be learning technique. But in Ghana or in Africa, it's not like that. In Ghana, more street football, going, playing. But willingly, you don't know that you are learning techniques.
It's different. It's
It's
different.
different.
And you got to remember, you can't take that away. That's what makes certain countries, certain players, certain areas different, which is why clubs want players from different parts of the world, because they bring something different.
Something different, So with this kind of things in Ghana, almost everybody play football, especially the guys, because of how we play together at the young age. We'll be putting rocks, putting here. They have something called 4 posts, meaning you'll be putting 4 posts in a square, and you guys will be playing one touch, and each player will be you have to try to score the other goal, the other person, and when you get scored, you have to come out. Then other player will replace your place, and nobody wants to come out.
Yeah.
So just picture it, how people defend their goal.
Yeah.
With this, we are playing just normal play, but we don't know how.
You're not thinking about it.
We don't think about what we are learning.
Yeah.
Playing one touch.
One touch. That's invaluable in football.
You know what I mean? So touch, that. Then maybe one person will be in the middle. Some of them. We have one game called kick and run or something like that. That one is like one person, maybe 20 guys with one ball. Then one person will be middle. Wherever they shoot the ball to, you are to go and get the ball back until someone will shoot. Then if you catch it directly, then that person have to come in. Then you go free. These are some of the. So they'll just kick the ball anywhere. Yeah. Then you have to go and get it, bring it back.
So you've got that. That's your defensive midfielder. That's your engine.
You know what I mean? So that means you'll be moving like a train, back and forth. By the time you get somebody will shoot you to the next, the other side. This one, then you'll be traveling around, running.
Yeah, don't lose them techniques. Maybe hone them in, smooth them out, but don't. This is what's important. Like you get. I was speaking to someone recently about the rise in talent coming from Ecuador, and I said, why is it all of a sudden Ecuadorian teams are doing really well in the youth tournaments? He said, it's because scouting. Before they didn't really go into the different regions, but there's different regions over here and over here and over here where there's a lot of, it's very highly populated with like African descent, and they're poorer areas and they don't have all the luxuries of everyone else. So they're just playing street football, and the level of skill that you're getting from some of these youngsters is out of this world. And they put them on the world stage, and they're winning the golden ball or silver ball or player of the tournament and stuff like that. It's unbelievable. So, and that's why they need to hone in on some of these players that are definitely being missed in these countries, wherever it is, and especially Africa.
Yeah, when you mention about this scouting, within the regions in the country, they do that as well in Ghana. Mm-hmm. But the problem in Ghana is, if you don't have a good financial background, or somebody with a good financial background, you can never make it to the top. Why am I saying that? I don't know if they talk about the bribery or something like that. Even for you to get your player into the national team, yes, maybe when they are playing leagues, the scouts will come around. The national team, they will come around. Mm-hmm. They will spot. This player is good. That one is good. We've picked you. They'll bring you all together to the national camp, take you through some process, you guys. But when it's about the final touch for them to pick up the players, that's when the bribery starts.
Oh, how much do you want to be in the national team?
Yes, you are really talented. And this is what they will tell you. We know that when you go outside playing a tournament, you're going to make it. Mm. But when you make it, we are not going to see you again. So this is the moment for us to get our share.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Man, look, when I went to Ghana, I wanted to play in their in that local league, like I said, that's Asante Kotoko. That was 2009. And my main purpose was just to play in the league. And I told them that I don't want them to pay me. Just give me a contract, but I don't want to receive anything. I will take care of myself. I don't want to receive it. But my motive was to get into the national team. Because if I had chance to play in the league, because then that Asante Kotoko, as I was playing, I played with them for 3 months, trials. And all their friendly match they would play, I'm a striker. I was the one scoring for them. And then that moment we had I think the top scorer of the league were from that club. But when I was playing with them, that top scorer, when he sees me, salutes me. He call me striker. Yeah. Because you could see that we have some levels. Because then I was from Germany that I've moved over there. And I see that I said, where I'm coming from, the way they play is totally different from what they are doing.
Yeah.
So my motive was just to get into the league. But you know what happened? They wanted me to pay the management, but they couldn't ask me directly. So they were tossing me here and there, come here, that they tossed me up and down, and I just said, look, forget it. So let's say in Ghana, for you to get to the top flight, even the national team, you have to pay.
So.
A minute, I'm coming. A minute.
Go on.
Please, a minute. Let me pick up something. All right. Yeah, you were saying something.
So what are there agents like you going over there with good purpose to try and get some of these players into European teams or to teams where they will be able to see a path to progression? Are there any more of you, or is it just you, one man crusade?
I think they love more of me, and like I said, because now even in England here, before you can bring a player up here to come and play in England, that person have to pass to a national team.
Oh yeah, because it has to be an exceptional talent.
So the player have to at least be called in a national team as represent Ghana before. It doesn't matter what stage, but at least as long as you have appeared in the national team before, you are good to go. So now they've realized or they've made it like now everybody wants to pass through the national team. So the authorities over there, they are taking advantage of it.
They can't keep doing it.
Even if you are so talented as Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, yours, you won't pay that much higher, maybe just a little bit, but yet you are still paying. Even if they ask for £1, you've paid. So from you, they won't take that much because they know the talent. And they will tell you that your talent, if you get to the world stage, you are going to make it. So that one, if me as an agent, if I don't do that, look, they are not going to pick you up.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of talent has been wasted because of these kind of things. Some of them couldn't afford the money that they were demanding. And some of them will go through the process, when they go to the regions, pick up players to take the final 22 to take them for a tournament. There are players that they will pick up. Then there are players that will come in lately. These are the players that their managers have gone to pay bribe, money to the authorities. Then they will be putting their players. Yes, and these people are the same people that are in the government. Yeah. So
I got to put some questions to some people because this is the problem.
This is a problem. And it's not just in Ghana. Let me put in the third world countries. Also in South America, in South Asia and all that stuff. These are the things that are going on. You have to pay before you can even get to the national team. And maybe the Minister of Sports, have some players that he too is managing.
Yeah, I bet.
And these people are definitely going, even though they are not that good. Because as long as you get to the world stage, you have to, any opportunity that you have, at least you have been in the national team, so you can even get to these small clubs.
Yeah.
So,
it's your short-term gain is a long-term loss. It makes no sense. It really doesn't make any sense to me, because surely you want your youth teams to go onto the world stage and be spotted and be recognised as something good. If you're going to keep on putting in inadequate players into your youth team just to earn a little bit of extra money, your team is never going to get anywhere.
You know what? Because like I said, Ghana is full of talent. Ghana is so full of talent that they will say it's like you are not a special player. The kind of way you play, somebody is also playing it. So they'll just put the offer before you. Look, your player is good. Yeah, they'll speak to the agent, not the player. It's like when they are training, when they are in camp, all the managers will be there around. So at the end of the day, some of them even get closer to the coaches, and the coaches get a lot of money. The coaches get a lot of money because they will tell, look, if you want your player to go, you have to do it. They will put an offer before you. Some are paying £2,000, some are even paying £3,000 for them to get their players in it. So let's say if you get a wicked agent who is spending that much in it, now the player, the agent to have a contract with you, like, look, I'll be doing that. So if you get a contract outside, this is my percentage. That's how the percentage also starts. So they will be putting a law. Yes, you have to pay. If you don't pay, you are not getting in it.
So is there any way of going, maybe you're not going the direct route into, I don't know, into England, but is there any other way you can get into Europe by not playing in the National League?
Yeah, so many ways.
So you can go through Belgium or France?
Yeah, that one too, it depends. And to me, sometimes football too is luck. You have to have luck on your side. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how talented you are. We have some talent players who couldn't make it because they did not have any luck on their side. We have players who were not so talented, but they had the luck on their side. And now they are playing the top flight.
Yeah.
So before, what they were doing, that they'll be sending them to the European countries, but not in the top flight. Maybe the agent has a connection with a lower tie. Then when he spot that the talent that you have, he knows that you can make him the top. They'll just bring you, pass you through this lower tie, at least have a European experience. Then with their connection that they have, they will just push you in. You get me? So they will just take you through maybe this low clubs.
Yeah.
But they have their aim. So with this, maybe they will bring you to Belgium, take you to a third division club. Meanwhile, the agent has a connection with a Belgium Super League, a club over there. But they will just pass you through a third division or fourth division, let you play just for a year, because in a top flight, you have to get an opportunity to come for trial.
Yeah.
So when the time for trial comes, then because of the connection that you have, he will take you there. And if you go there, and if luck is by your side and they see the talent that you have, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But the pathway needs to be simpler. Because over here, if you're a young kid, you're good, you're talented, you don't even necessarily have to have an agent to go to a club, to go to a trial day. You go to your local club, you know that and then agents know that there's good players at this club because this is a well-renowned club. It's not a professional club, but it's known for having good players, and they keep on. So, and once they establish that in all these other countries, then it's a lot easier to find these talents, because it's not because that's the problem. That's not just in third world countries. That's a problem in America, but that's more because the place is too big and they can't get to these small regions. But it's about building the community clubs. It's about building the smaller clubs and building up around them. And then the big clubs will take from them. And then it's a cycle that needs to be bought in by everyone. If not everyone's going to buy into it, you're never going to complete the cycle.
We ain't going anywhere. You know, like I said, in this country, the forefathers, they made a sacrifice to make the system very simple. Not just in terms of football, in everything there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why living here is a good way, you know, of living rather than living in a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is put in place. Everything is at its place, you know. And that's, like I said, that's the sacrifice they made about 50, 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm.
So now in Africa, if we're going to have presidents, ministries that are going to do the same, in 20 years' time, we're going to see a different Africa.
Yeah.
But now the question is, who is going to do that sacrifice? Who is willing to do it?
Well, hopefully, as you said, because there's players around that have seen that it's a problem. It's a problem. It's because like there's people like you that want to sort of do good and bring over some of these players. Because there's people like that, then and people like me that want to send the message around, that's not afraid to talk about African football and the wrongs and the rights and how they can make it better, then hopefully we will see something like that in 20 years' time. But it needs sacrifice from the people at the top in these countries first. But they need to be quizzed on that. And like I said, the journalists need to be asking questions about Kevin Prince Boateng and stuff like that. They need to be asking questions about the youth teams, why the youth teams aren't coming through, why the pitches at your biggest clubs are not the best. These things need the structure. That's what's needed.
Definitely, because like I said, even those who have made it, if they will come together with one mind and say, okay, let's start from now. Let's move on and start from now. They will achieve something in the near future. You know what I mean? So because then they have the funds now, they have the money to start something, and if they come together as one and work together, they are going to achieve something in the near future. Trust me.
Yeah.
And I think when they start with this, like I said, that's when the government can also come in, because now the government has, okay, these people are doing good things. Then let me go and support them, because now it's not going to go through the ministries. Now the individual that have just started, let's go and support them. And you know that if you give them something, they can handle it well, rather than giving to someone who is thinking about their own selfish interest. You know. So to me, those who have already made it, when they start, I think that's when the government or other people can also come in and support. But if no one is starting, then we are still going to be where we are.
Yeah. Well, like you said, hopefully these big names, because they're not just small names. I mean, Didier Drogba was working in UNICEF. Sadio Mane is one of the best players in the world at the moment, and he makes a point of saying, "I'm not here to wear flashy watches and big cars. I want to invest my money back in the country." That these things that you start putting into people's minds, that will follow the next generation, and hopefully they follow suit. So yeah, Patrick, thank you very much for what has been an excellent pod. I'd love to get you on a podcast with one of the journalists, because I mean we could thrash this out a lot. Because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of avenues to go. There's so many ideas we could probably put together. And it's definitely a connection we should keep, man. Because I mean, I know some players and I know some managers myself that are going to manage in UAE countries and Qatar as well. So there could be a connection if you've got some good players for me.
I've got players. Because you know, I always, it's my dream to get somebody. Even I was years back, I think 5 years ago, 6 years, I was even sending, let's say, letters or emails to agents that I can work with, and no response. But to me, everything happened for a reason, and everything comes to the own way at the right time.
Yeah.
Because as I'm speaking now, I've got 2 boys.
Yeah.
Myself.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes, because before, when I sit on the television, I'll be watching players, even ACN, Asamoah Gyan, when they are playing.
Mm-hmm.
Then sometimes I sit down and I start crying. Why do I cry? Because what was inside me, I knew myself that I could have been even better than those players.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had that dream of playing the top flight. But unfortunately, couldn't make it because I couldn't have anybody to support me. But then I said, okay, now I have 2 boys.
Yeah.
So now let me put my focus on them and see what they can also bring. At least I've been there. I'm helping others. Now my own.
Yeah.
So let's see. But yet I still got cousins, nephew that are also playing football, but they are young. Because now, I've got 1 cousin.
Uh-huh.
Because you are with us now.
Yeah.
I've got 1 cousin in Germany. That one will turn 19 somewhere in November. Yeah. That one is playing now in a 3rd Bundesliga, but they are second team. And this, my nephew or my cousin, is very, very good. And now I'm fighting to get him a place. So maybe there can be a connection.
Always a connection. What teams do you play for?
He plays, I've forgotten, but it's in the 3rd Bundesliga, second team.
What's his name?
I can, Joshua. I can send, if you send me your email address, I can send you his profile.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because this 18-year-old boy, he's very tall and very aggressive and very strong. Joshua is.
Good technique? He's
a technique player, very aggressive. And as Joshua plays a midfield, attacking midfield. Or he can play right wing, left wing, and attacking midfield. Yeah. So it's my desire. Even I was speaking to my uncle, and he brought me everything. So I've got his profile that I was sending over. And that, like a friend that I was telling that he's an agent. He's working with one of these agents back in Belgium. So he was like, okay, let's see if this coronavirus then gets away and if they kick back playing, then he might maybe send his agents to go and watch him and see how it is. So to me, we can connect, because that particular one, there are 2 of them, but the other one is 20, because that one is age, that one is 19, 20. But this young one, this 18-year-old one, that's what I'm focusing now.
Yeah, it's all about just getting, basically just getting like show reels together, getting footage of these players. If you can get footage, and that even goes for players in Ghana, like these players that are not getting seen, not getting spotted. We're in a generation where you can be famous like that for the littlest thing. Like I'm sure you've probably seen the African kid, where he's playing football and he sends the kid the wrong way with the ball, and the kid goes flying off and everyone goes crazy. I'm sure there were football clubs that were looking for that kid. Now, if you can get footage of these players playing, and then you put in not just scoring a goal or running down the wing, but good technique, passing, tackling, win the ball back, communication. These things are what football teams want. That they see the flashy goals, but what they want to see is the basics. And if we can get footage together and player profiles of these things, they can go around to clubs. Then the clubs will go, okay, maybe we should get a camp over there. Maybe we should put something. Maybe we should keep a couple of scouts or get some local scouts to connections. And that's another way these things start to build.
What you just said is a good idea. But then one have to take the step, because I had this thing in mind. Because now technology is moving so high. It's like everything is going in the tech.
Yeah.
And now look at YouTube now. People, whatever everybody sees, they just put on YouTube. Yeah. And if people spot it, within a twinkling as a people will be chasing you.
Exactly.
You know. So as you are saying, maybe I can get a couple of people, like we're saying, get players, you know, with a good video editor.
Yeah.
You know, that one too is needed. And with the videos that you have, you can take the players to play in a match, give them a good video editing, and start, you know, putting them on YouTube and say that maybe the next Cristiano Ronaldo.
Exactly.
That's name that appears.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And it's these things that spark off something. I can edit videos. I'm a cameraman. I've got a lot. Let's get out to Ghana and let's make some films and make some players professional.
You know what I mean? So, you see, even with this thing, we can team up and start bringing something out like that.
100%.
By the time we know, we are already in a big, you know, in a big thing, moving out.
I think it's easier than people think if you know the direction. If you know the pathway of these things, you know the route, then you don't worry about all the sidetrack things and the fluff over here, which if you didn't know, you might go towards, okay. But if you know the direct route, if you know that you want to get to a pro club, okay, if you haven't got to a pro club, you go non-league route. You try and build up the ladder. You know, okay, this isn't the team. Okay, this is the right team. They're 3 leagues from the Conference League, and I know that the Conference League is watching these leagues below. If you know these things, then you've not got to worry about not making it pro at first and then going the different route. You've got to not worry about getting fake agents and stuff like that. If you know the routes and you've got someone to guide you the right way, then it's actually a lot easier than and you don't have to worry, and these players can just focus on playing football rather than all the extra things. So don't worry, this happened for a reason. Just like me doing these things are happening for a reason. I'm hopefully here not just to put these things out on the internet, but to sort of make a difference as well.
That's really made a point. With this thing, I'll try to speak to my uncle, with this cousin. Then I'll tell them from now they have to go and get a good camera. Anytime this boy's playing, I want them to send me videos.
100%.
Yeah,
and if you can get that to me, we get names, date of births, a good picture, a good couple of pictures, in kit and playing whatever. It's easy enough to edit. Easy.
So,
and then eventually, once this is calmed down, I'm going over to Ghana myself with my camera, and I want to see these players in front of me. I want to see how good they are.
Yeah.
And then we can make a little mini quick short film of that as well. The journey. People love to see the journey. Yeah.
And in Ghana, they have the government have created this thing because, like I said, there are a lot of. It's like the people have passion for football. Ghana, the women, the men, it's like almost everybody have the passion. Even if they can't play, they have the passion because it's part of the people over there. So the government have made this league for the senior high schools. And with this league, a lot of agents go there when they are playing the leagues. And they play somewhere around November, December.
Okay.
That's when they play this kind of. So with this kind of period, there are a lot of agents that go there because then you have the youth from, I think, between the 12 and 15 years. Yeah, these are the ones that play in the league.
Yeah.
Between 12 and 15 years. So at least you have raw talented players that are playing the league. And it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. You know. So that's where sometimes they pick up players for the national teams.
Okay.
So it's a regional league for the academic schools. And so if you want to be playing, you have to be in one of these academic schools.
Yeah.
Senior high. If you are not in a senior high, you can't play. And you have raw talent. And that's something like I've been thinking of that one day, and now you've come up.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. It was only meant to be half an hour. It's ended up being an hour and 15 minutes. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. This will not be the last time we speak. It's been really good, really enlightening. I will chop this up, put it together, show you it before I put it out. But yeah, it'd be a
Okay.
really, really good pod, man. Thank you very much
All
for your
right.
time, man.
All right. All right.
All
You're
right, you
welcome.
take
You're
care.
welcome.
Take
All
care.
right. You too. Bye bye.
Speak soon.